Jai Granan, Ganeshaya Namastubhyam, Herambay Ekadantine, Swanandavasine Tubhyam, Brahmanaspataye Namaha. Yesterday we were looking at Nara-Narayana. Nara-Narayana had been doing penance, and Mahavishnu manifested before them, and he explained to them about Ganesha, the concept of Ganesha, the greatness of Ganesha, and he gave them this mantra of Heramba, on which they did japa for hundreds of years, and later on Ganesha manifested as Heramba, and he blessed them that your devotion, they blessed them, then they sang and extolled his praise, and the Ganesha blessed that this stotra will bestow all what you desire. And after that, they continued the worship of Ganesha. They made an idol and built a temple, and they did worship for a long time. One day, they decided to go to Markandeya Rishi's ashram. So they went to Markandeya Rishi's ashram, and there Markandeya welcomed them, received them, did Sashtang Namaskar, performed their Pada Sevanam, gave them an asan to sit. And Markandeya Rishi says, I am indeed blessed by your visit here. My lineage is blessed, my knowledge is blessed, my penance is blessed. So please tell me now. I've been doing sadhana for a number of for ages. Now, I have attained Shanti Yoga, but I want to know, I don't have the knowledge of Maya, the process of Maya, the knowledge of the path of attaining peace through by overcoming Maya. Maya is the hurdle which everybody has to cross. I have attained peace, no doubt, because of my sadhana and all that. But I want to know, get a better understanding of what this Maya is. So please explain to me about that. So Nara-Narayana begin to explain about this concept of what is this Maya. So he says that Nara-Narayana says, Nara and Narayana, although they are two different people, generally they are put together. There's as one, and they're treated as Brahma together. As we saw, he's like treated like a Brahma only. So now, why was Nara-Narayana says, Oh, eminent Muni, you have attained all siddhis. What are the siddhis? Ashta Siddhi. Markandeya Rishi was a devotee of Shiva. Initially, he was a devotee of Shiva because Shiva manifested in his heart, in the place of Vishnu. So at that time, being blessed by Shiva, he got the Ashta Siddhis. What are the Ashta Siddhis? Anima, that is being able to reduce to a minutest part of a particle, that is like an atom. Mahima, growing to the big in size. Garima, being able to infinitely heavy, become very heavy. Laghima, being able to become as light as a feather. Then Prapti, ability to be anywhere at will. Wherever he wants to be, he will be there, being able to move across space and be present in somewhere else. Prakamya, realizing whatever one desires. Then Vashatva, being able to bring anything under one's control. And Vashitva, these are the two others. Prakamya, Lagima, Prapti, Prakamya, Vasitva, but here the Siddhi. So all these are the 8 Ashta Siddhis. You have been blessed by Ashta Siddhis. This Nara-Narayana says, you have been blessed by this Ashta Siddhis. Now, Shiva had imparted this knowledge of Ashta Siddhis even to Rama also. Rama also had this all these Siddhis, but he had forgotten it. And so Vashishta had to remind him again at the time of the battle with Rama. And then he gave him that stotra by which he was able to gain victory over Ravana. So then Markandeya Rishi says, who was this Rama? Tell me more about this Rama. So this Surya continues this narration about the story of Rama to which Nara-Narayana as narrates to Markandeya Rishi. Now, remember the whole series of dialogues that are happening. Sutta is narrating to Shaunaka and other rishis. What Mudgalacharya is narrating to Daksha Prajapati. Then Daksha Prajapati. Then here Nara-Narayana. Here this. Nara-Narayana is narrating to Markandeya Rishi, which the Surya is narrating to Valakilya. Surya is narrating to Valakilya what Nara-Narayana is narrating to Markandeya Rishi. So he says, Nara-Narayana telling the story of Rama now. Marichi was a son of Brahmadeva. Marichi among the Saptarishis. Marichi was there and his son was Kashyapa. Kashyapa and Aditi gave birth to Surya, sun. Okay, Surya god, who was the soul or Atma in all. Now, Manu was the son of Surya. Surya's son was Manu. And there is and Vaivaswata Manu is the seventh Manu. Seventh of the seventh Manu. Every Manvantara, there is a Manu. In a Kalpa is one day in the life of Brahma. It is 432 crore years. In that period of time, there are 14 Manvantaras. And in that among the 14 Manvantaras, in a Kalpa, there are many Chatur Yugas. There are 71 to 72 Chatur Yugas. Sometimes it is 71, sometimes actually it is 71 and a half, we can say. Because when we go to calculate a Chatur Yuga is 4 yugas. Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. 4 yugas together becomes a Chatur Yuga. Chatur Yuga is in Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga, it is 4,800 years. Treta Yuga is 3,600 years. Dwapara Yuga is 2,400 years and Kali Yuga is 1,200 years. So total is 12,000 years. 12,000 years is one Chatur Yuga. Like that, there are 71 Chatur Yugas. But between two yugas, between two yugas and Chatur Yugas, there is a transition period. That means just at the end of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga doesn't begin. About 200 years to 4. There are different periods of time between Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga. There is a small transition period. Then again, there is a transition period between Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga. Again, there is a transition period between Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. So, in these transition periods, account for that 71 to 71 and a half Chatur Yugas, which total, in fact, in totality, it is 14 Manvantaras. And each Manvantara, there is a separate Manu. So now we are in the 28th Kalpa, 28th Chatur Yuga. 28, we are in the 28th Chatur Yuga and in the Kali Yuga, in the ascending Kali Yuga. We have finished descending Kali Yuga. We are in the ascending Kali Yuga. Then we'll come into a small transition period. Then we'll go into Satya Yuga or Kruta Yuga. So in the 29th Chatur Yuga. So now we are in the 28th Chatur Yuga of the 7th Manvantara. So 14 Manvantaras are there in the Kalpa. So 17th, we are in the 7th Manvantara. And we have completed 28 Chatur Yugas. We are nearly completing 28 Chatur Yugas. So we have another 43 or more Chatur Yugas left for completing this Manvantara to transition to the 8th Manvantara. So the present Manvantara is Vaivaswata Manvantara, which is the 7th Manvantara. And so this is the way the time is calculated. And Surya is the creator of this time. He is the Atma in all. How does Surya create time? By his very movement. by his movement of Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. He moves in Ayana. It is called Ayana. So Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. That is, the sun moves from the equator to the Tropic of Cancer, and from the equator to the Tropic of Capricorn, which is Dakshinayana. In this process, he creates seasons. So how does so in this way, he creates seasons, and each Manvantara, which is headed by a Manu, Manu is a title which is given to a Kshatriya ruler. This Manu is a Kshatriya in
Manusmriti has been written by this Manu.
Manusmriti. It was written by one of the Manus. It is not, there are every Manvantara, there is a Manu. So in one of those Manvantara, Manusmriti has been written. It is not the same, and we must remember that these are remembrances, memories of what had happened in that particular Manvantara. That is, in a Manvantara, the duration of Manvantara is 71 times the number of years contained in a Mahayuga. See, each Manu rule for a certain number of years. The 4 yugas are one Mahayuga, one Chatur Yuga, and there are 71 Chatur Yugas in one Manvantara, and there are 14 Manvantaras in one Kalpa. The first Manu was Swayambhu Manu, and I don't know whether it was Swayambhu Manu who wrote the Manu Smriti or any subsequent Manu. We have 7 Manus who have gone, because we are in the 7th Manvantara. So, and they are Manu Smritis, and many times they don't particularly, even Vedas, we say it is attributed to Vyasa, but we have had several Vyasas. Any person occupying the place or seat or position of classification of Vedas is a Vyasa. So, who is that Vyasa? We don't know. Means that person's title is Vyasa. So Manu is a title. So Manu Smritis are the memories or memoirs, you can say, who have written down what had the rules or based on experiences which had happened in the earlier Manvantaras. And so many things, wars have happened. And in the earlier Manvantaras, it was mostly battle between Devas and Danavas, Daityas and all. So it was not really related to human beings. So what this government is following, Manusmriti, it is not at all applicable to us. Because it is applicable to Devas, Danavas and Daityas who could move from heaven to earth. And then based on that, if you say the prime minister or the king is a Indra, or I mean is a Daivik person, is a non-biological person, it is illogical, right? Because we know that when we are in a certain Manvantara or a certain certain position, certain point in time, which is irrelevant to earlier. The past is past. It was based on the past. So we should, and when society forms rules based on the present circumstances. And even now, even as we are evolving, even when the AI is evolving, we are trying to see how to control that AI, how to limit its unlimited capacity. Means its tremendous power. We are trying to control it. So then we must be relevant. We can't be based on something which is of the past. There can be a guidepost if similar circumstances come. Now, if this AI becomes a monster, if we consider
So AI
this
is just
AI
a
as a
tool.
Daitya or a Rakshasa, then you can say, you can apply this Manu Smritis to AI. But then AI was a human creation. And which the person who has created themselves by their logical mind can know where they have given unlimited powers and can restrict it. restricted its application. So it is not that it is out of control. So we need to be relevant to the times. So even so, we are discussing this Maya. This is all Maya, illusion. Means illusion in the sense it is a creation which is happening due to the passage of time. A time is a creation which was created when the sun was created. Surya was created. Surya created, then he started moving. When he started moving, the period or the path he moved on one side became the sunrise, and when he moved on to the other side, it became sunset. So there was a day and night created. And when day and night created, he not only was fixed in one place, he was also moving around an orbit. So when he was moving, because he has created many more out of himself, like others. Shani was created, the Mars was created, Jupiter was created, all that was created. Brihaspati, they are all planets who are gods. Brihaspati is a planet. Shukracharya is Venus. Mars is the Mangal is that I don't know whether it was Andak or Jalandhar. One of them became Mars, who was a manifestation of Shiva. Then Mercury. So these are all planets who were uh, beings in the beginning and who became fixated as planets, you can say. And then now they are moving, they are having life, they are having their characters, and that character is influencing the people, the human beings on earth. So that is why when we have say horoscope, when we are under influence of Jupiter, we say yes, those character, those that influence, it will come on us. So
Especially Mangal.
uh,
Especially Mangal.
special Mangal, yes. So we have all these planets which are orbiting around. So in the first, so we can say now when a Manu is acting during reign of every Manu, there are 6 entities that happen. Every Manvantara, there are 6 entities. They are called Varnashrama. Or we think Varnashrama is Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Varnashrama, and then we follow according, and then we have given it another name, caste, and that caste has created more complications with every surname being a caste. So then
Subcaste.
we have diluted that concept to a great extent. But when we think of the original Varnashrama in a Manu, when we take a whole Manvantara, there are 14 Manvantaras in one Kalpa. So in that one of those, the first Manvantara, Swayambhu Manu, there are 6 entities. Who are these 6 entities? First entity is Devas. Devas and their progeny and their creation or their children. And 7 rishis, Sapta rishis, Indra, and the incarnation of Vishnu in that Manvantara. Every Manvantara, there is one incarnation of Vishnu. So in the first Manvantara, the incarnation, there was an incarnation of Vishnu. These all form the first entity. Second entity is Manu established the well-known divisions of the Varnashrama. So, and each of them were given duties. Okay. Second was rishis. Rishis who were supposed to impart the knowledge or become precepts, that is preceptor, or dikshitas, that is those who could initiate somebody into mantras, yajna karmas, and all karmas and all. So this was yajna karmas and any kind of knowledge about the yajnas. So these were rishis. This was a second group, second varnashrama. The third was, and this varna and this yajna and all karmas are performed by patrons. Means one person is appointed as a chief to perform. Normally, yajnas are performed for a whole village together, or a whole family, or a whole kingdom, and all. So there is one person who is appointed as a chief person sitting there on behalf of everybody. And the karta, the person who does it, yajna karta. So that is the third varnashrama. So see the kind of classification and which has come to this position today. So first was Devas, who including their children, and then Indra and all of them. Indra and the incarnations of Vishnu. Then second was of the rishis. Second were all the rishis and preceptors of karma and yajnas. Third class is that of the kartas, yajna kartas, the chief, the people who sat as a chief priest, that kind of a thing. Fourth is Devaraja Indra should ensure rainfall on the three worlds as his duty. So the fourth Varnashrama, he was a dharma. Means these are all dharma duties to be performed. It was classified on the basis of the duties, what they had to do. So the fourth was Indra's duty was to see that rainfall happened regularly in the world, and protect it. So Varuna. Then fifth was then devas must accept oblations offered during a yajna. All what is made as offerings, it could be clothes, food, ornaments, whatever is offered, the devas should receive it as they receive those offerings, and they give fruits to the persons who perform these offerings, who give these offerings as fruits of the deed or deeds of the karma. So that was the punya, we can say punya or whatever faladata are the deva's duty is to give the phala to the persons performing the karmas. Then, whenever Indra is threatened by a Daitya, he would immediately be protected by Vishnu, who will incarnate in his Amsha form. So this is the fifth one, where the Indra, whenever he is threatened by Daityas, when the Daityas attacked Indra or the Devas, when they attack the Devas, Vishnu would make an incarnation. It was the duty of Vishnu to incarnate. That is why we have the Dashavataram. So one of any avatar he would take, and he will protect the Devas.
Indra is Indra is vulnerable.
Indra is always shaky. His seat is always shaky. And he's also always afraid and all that. He has all his insecurities. Then, sons and grandsons of Manu and their progeny, the sixth Varnashrama, is the sons and grandsons of Manu and their progeny and their lineage will protect the earth and its subjects by adhering to Kshatriya Dharma. So they will follow the rules of a king. So Manu's Dharma was to prepare these rules for his progeny. Okay, the Manusmritis which they are following are not only this; it includes all these six attribute or six things, memoirs, smritis. So then we need to be very discreet, or we must be able to be discerning enough to apply suitably what is required for human beings at this point of time. We can't apply the whole Manusmriti. That is why it is preferable to apply the Kalpa Shastras, or not Kalpashastra. This Yagnavalkya Smriti, Kashyapa, the other Smritis, the Rishis, the Smritis of the Rishis, because they are more relevant to the particular time. So the latest time, what is applicable, that we can take. We can't take the whole Manusmriti, because that Manusmriti will be right from Swayambhu Manu. And added, and Manusmriti, it will keep all the other Manus will keep adding to it, because these are the six entities, six groups or Varnashramas, as it was designed by Swayambhu Manu. So when one Manvantara is completed, the next one begins. So the Manu, he dies. Means he gets absorbed with all his qualities, and along with him, he takes everybody in. It becomes, that is, annihilation happens. It is called Manvantara Laya, or dissolution of a Manvantara, and all the knowledge returns to the source, to the place of origin. During this dissolution, all the animate and the inanimate cease to exist. So that is why after every Manvantara, that is in 14 times, there will be annihilation during this 432 crore years. But in this one day of Brahma, In one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, and so there will be, if after every Manvantara, there is this dissolution where all the things get absorbed into the source. So when a new Manu emerges after that, again all these rishis, Bhrigu Muni and all the munis and also rishis, Sapta rishis, they also manifest. But the rishis and all, they come with their powers of yoga because they are yogis. They come with the knowledge of yoga, and they are the ones who again bring back the Vedas with the, because they come with that knowledge, and so they again re-establish the Vedic knowledge and everything. Then the wise one understand, interpret, learn it, and then perform the yajna karmas. So that at the end of the day of Brahmadeva, after 432 crore years, then only he sleeps. Brahmadeva. That is total annihilation when you can say there is a black hole or something. Okay, where everything goes into that black hole. So, and Brahmadeva's life is 100 years. Now we are into the 51st day of Brahmadeva. His age is now 51 years right now. So we have another 49 years to go for 100 years to be completed of this Brahmadeva.
I was going to ask you the same question. How many remaining now?
Yeah. So I heard what your question was in your mind. And so he will also, after that, he will also be absorbed, and then there will be a total destruction, and all the entire universe, which is born out of the three qualities, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, which is that Maya, which is a permit. This whole world is a permutation and combination of these three qualities, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And then we will, this Maya will be subject to birth and death. Okay, anything born out of Maya is subject to birth and death, including Brahma will also go back into that black hole. So this is Maya. So now, uh, do we want to continue with this time? Now it is an explanation of time, how this time period, more detailed explanation about time.
One question before that.
Yes,
You said everything goes into the black hole. Where does it come out?
it comes out when there is an agitation in the black hole. When a vibration happens in that black hole, when some movement happens, then there is a bimba created, a reflection is created of that, and then the creation starts happening.
Uh, I was wondering that only. If it goes into the black hole, it must come out somewhere.
No, it will be like that in that black hole. But in the black hole, there will be a friction created after some time.
Okay.
We don't know the how much passage of time. That will be limitless.
That is
So then, when that friction is created, a reflection is created, a slight reflection, and that reflection starts having a life, takes a life of its own, and becomes this
we are
world.
already in a black hole.
Yes, yes. Black hole is existing, but now that black hole has manifested as this world. From that black hole, we have this universe and multiple universes. So this is Maya. Now, the Markandeya Rishi who was listening to this, he was flabbergasted. He's telling, I'm just unable to comprehend all of this, what you're saying, Nara-Narayana. He's telling Nara-Narayana, I am just, I'm delighted to hear, but I'm at the same time so astounded. Now I want to listen to more about this Maya in finer detail. Now this is a very big, broad thing that you have given: 432 crore years and 14 Manvantaras and Chatur Yugas and all that. Now this is too big for my imagination. Come to the point. Come to more calculable what we see day to day. Okay, so now. Please elaborate. He's telling you, please elaborate me a proper structure so that I can understand, which is within my comprehension. How, and also tell me about Yuga Dharma, what you said about Yuga Dharma. You said that Manvantara, as we say, Smrutis, that means they are talking about the culture or character of that Yuga, that particular period of time. So tell me more about that Yuga Dharma. What is the Dharma that they follow in that Yuga? Also tell me what are the karmas, deeds to be performed by to please our ancestors, devas and asuras. Also tell me the kings who are born in the lineage of Surya and Chandra and their legends. Oh, eminent rishis, please clarify all these questions of mine. So he's asked so many questions in one question, and he is now this Nara-Narayana is going to are just they are also equally happy on hearing that so much this Markandeya Rishi wants to know, and so they are compassionately they begin the narration. They said you have asked a real very $1 million question. Let us begin from the beginning. The time it takes actually nimisha. The smallest point of time is the time taken to say an akshara. Akshara, that is a sound, to utter a sound, is akshara. And that is the nimisha. But actually, in another place, it is mentioned nimisha is the time taken to bat an eyelid. The time when you when the eyelid closes, that is the nimisha. That is another definition of nimisha, or the time it takes to hear it in this Manvantara, because it was almost in the first Manu times. So we can say that it was the original definition, that is the time it takes to utter one syllable, akshara. A period of 15 nimishas is kashta. 15 nimishas is kashta. 15 times you blink, it is one kashta. The period of 30 kashtas is kala, and 30 kalas makes one muhurta. And one muhurta, is 48 minutes, which we saw in one previous chapter the other day. So a day consists of 30 muhurtas. This includes the period of night as well. So 30 such days and nights constitute 1 month. In a month, there are two phases, the Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. Shukla Paksha is that the bright fortnight of the moon, and Krishna Paksha is the dark fortnight of the moon. Shukla Paksha means that from the rising, from the new moon to the full moon, and Krishna Paksha
Amavasya and
is from the
Purnima.
full moon to the new moon.
Amavasya and Purnima.
Amavasya and Purnima, that is from Amavasya to Purnima is Shukla Paksha, and from Purnima to Amavasya is Krishna Paksha. And 12 months make 1 year. The and the period of 2 months, every 2 months is a season. So there are 6 seasons. Which are the 6 seasons? They are Vasanta Ritu, Grishma Ritu, that is autumn, spring, Grishma, hot, the summer, Varsha, rainy season, Sharad Ritu, spring and winter, autumn and winter, है ना? And Hemanta and Shishira. So Vasanta Ritu is spring, then summer, Grishma Ritu, Varsha Ritu is a rainy season, Sharad Ritu is autumn, Hemanta winter, and Shishira. Shishira, sixth Rish. 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six seasons are there. Spring, summer, rainy season, autumn, winter, and again spring, I think, no? Shishira. Or I don't know what is the Shishira. So in English, I don't know. So in a samvatsara or a year, this time between 1 nimisha to 1 year. So this is the way you calculate time from 1 nimisha till 1 year. This is the whole thing is managed and by the timekeepers. And the conduct, the character, the conduct or behavior suitable to each season is known as Kala Dharma. Behave according to the season. During summer, you wear warm clothes. Winter, you wear cold winter clothes. Or whatever you behave during that time means even in summer you drink more water, and all those all conduct. It includes all kinds of conduct relating to our physical body. Then, so the first, this time is also measured in terms of samvatsara. Samvatsara is another measure of time, which is of 5 types. The first 12 months after birth in a human being's life, samvatsara. So, first 12 months, first year after birth is called samvatsara. The second is called parivatsara. Third is idavatsara. Fourth is anuvatsara, and fifth is vatsara. So, what are the meanings of all these samvatsaras, the periods of time? The time or kala responsible for coordination between the limbs and the body parts, that is your hands and legs, movement of hands and legs, which is spurred by the digestive fire, the jatara agni, the gut, the fire in the belly. That is what brings about this movement of the limbs, the coordination of the movement of the limbs. If you see how the child, when it is in the first year, when it is lying down, how it pedals like that, hands and legs, the movement comes. That is because of the ignition, or the lighting up, or you can say the gastric fire, the gut fire that starts growing in the child. So that is a first year, first 12 months. When that happens, the physical body of the child grows properly. Then the physical body grows and decays, and that is brought by this Jatar Agni. The mother of Agnis is the Jatar Agni. The mother is the Jatar Agni, the central digestive fire that governs the digestion and assimilation of food. So most of the time we are worried about that only. Means the child, we when it cries, we know that its stomach is what is asking for food.
Basic thing. Basic
Basic thing.
thing.
Yeah. So then that is how, but that is what makes the body grow in the initial stages. So this is the influence of time. So this is also known as the Agni Samvatsara. The first Samvatsara, that is 12 months, is the Agni Samvatsara. Then among the 5 types of Kala, this is the most important. The wise Mahayogis refers to as the basic essential for existence of this physical body. The next Kala, that is Parivatsara, the second one, Parivatsara is the form of Surya. He is the cause of ayanas, that is the movement of Uttarayana and Dakshinayana, which is the cause of summer and winter, first half year and second half year. This is the second Kala, Parivatsara. Then third is Idavatsara. So this I'm telling you about the second classification of time. The first classification of time we saw from Nimisha to year and seasons, months, and everything. So this is the second measures of time, which is Samvatsara, which is 12 months. Second is Parivatsara, which is the movement of the sun, that is 6 months upwards and 6 months to the Tropic of Capricorn, Dakshin Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. So he is responsible for division of the year into 2 parts, dividing the year, and which also causes the seasons, rainy season, winter, summer, and everything. Then the third one is Idavatsara. Idavatsara refers to Chandra, the regulator of stars and constellations. Chandra, we know that it gives nectar, or it is in the light of the Chandra that the osmosis happens. That is, the chlorophyll in the plants get converted into food, and by which the plants grow. So it is in the light of the sun, and that sun derives and that the chandras are phases of the moon, which has from the new moon to the full moon to the new moon again. So these, as it waxes and wanes, that is when there are crescents of the moon, each crescent has a particular potency for providing nourishment to the plants. The amount of light from the
We
amount
call
of
it, we,
moonlight.
we call it kala.
Kala, that is crescent. It is 12 degrees, 14 degrees, means how much every day it increases from the
Increases
new
the
moon to the full moon.
duration.
So, yes, so this is the time. That is another period of time which is calculated based on Chandrakala. So, this Kala, it is medicinal in nature because it gives food and it also gives food to the Devas. Devas also get their nourishment from the moonlight. Okay, and so this is the aspects of the Chandra. Because it's also known as Soma. Soma is the food of the Devas. So that is why Chandra is also known as Soma. Then the fourth period of time, which I said was Anuvatsara. The fourth time or Kala is Anuvatsara. It is existent everywhere. It is in the form of Vayu, that is air. That is the Prana Vayu, life force. The Apana and Prana, Apana, Udana, Samana, and Vyana. These we explained these five Vayus. That also is a particular period of time. The time taken to breathe in, the time taken to breathe out. Prana, Apana, and it determines our lifetime. We, our lifetime exists in the number of breaths that we take. Not in, we don't come with a fixed number, we come with a fixed number of breaths. So, how many, if you breathe fast, you will die fast. If you breathe slow, you will die, you will live longer. So, that is Vayu. That is another period of time counting of time. And this Vayu, it also, one quality is it creates desires by the movement of the qualities, sattva, rajas, and tamas in the atmosphere. It moves the air and so it creates desires. When we desire something, we move towards the object, and Vayu takes us there. The air takes us there. So that is the Vayu regulates the planetary orbits. And there is another of this kala is um, it Vayu regulates the planetary orbits. The avaha and pravaha, that is your attraction and repulsion. Attraction and repulsion through gravitational force. The planetary positions, various 9 planets we have: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. All these move at a specific orbit. They are elliptical in nature and they move at a specific distance. They don't crash with each other. They don't come and clash at any point of time. They are fixed in their orbits, and that orbits is determined by the attraction and repulsion of the gravitational pull of the sun. Or the gravitational, that is called attraction and repulsion. When it is coming towards the sun and then it goes away from the sun. It is so it moves in an elliptical orbit like that. Sun is stationary and then it moves around like that. So this is the orbit which is attraction and repulsion. So in this way, that is why if you see that yin and yang, that thing, one is attraction, one is repulsion. So it moves like that. And that is the fifth. So that is the Vayus, that is one passage of time. This is Anuvatsara. And the fifth period of time is Vatsara. The last one is Vatsara. Vatsara illuminates the form of Rudra. Vatsara is Rudra when the world finally ends. It is the duration of final annihilation. At the time of final annihilation, all medicines perish. All medicines perish. That means there is fire. And he becomes Triambak. That means that destructive force, you can say, or we can say that if you consider it as a black hole, it pervades all the three worlds. All the three worlds get into that, and after a predetermined period of time, then after some time again he creates. Now this is in Rudra, in this Vatsara or a Rudra annihilation, it is temporary. It is not the big black hole which ends after the Brahma's day ends. I mean, Brahma's 100 years ends. It's not that. These are temporary destructions which happen, annihilations which happen after every Manvantara. After every Manvantara, all the medicines get destroyed. Matlab, all the forests and all get destroyed. There is no plantations. Okay, so this gets destroyed means what? The Rudra absorbs all this. So the three Shaktis who are Gayatri, Jagati, and Trishtripa. Earlier we had now we have come to now this stage is in the earlier Manus where the names were Gayatri, Jagati, and Trishtripa. Now it is Mahalakshmi, Saraswati, Mahakali. The same three Shaktis are named Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali. It earlier it was Gayatri, Jagati, Trishtripa. Why? Because at that time the power of words was strong. That is, mantras were effective. Now, even if anybody curses, it has no effect. Because the value of the Shabda power of Shabda has diluted. It
It
has
is
no,
good.
yeah, because people have become so brushed in the mind at after in every second they will
It was,
pronounce curse only. So then it is dangerous. So that is why the words are ineffective now. So earlier the Shaktis were also different. Now the Shaktis are also different. So these were collectively, these three Shaktis were collectively known as Ambika. Jagadambika or Trivarambika. Then Rudra impregnates Ambika with his virile semen and recreates the medicinal plants, and then again the creation starts after a certain period of time. So if you understand this nature of Kala, the 5 types of Kala, you will not be unhappy. Why? You'll not be unhappy that, oh, I'm going to die. And so then finish. Everything is over.
it is up to you how
I
long
was
do you
listening
live.
yesterday. I was just listening to Elon Musk's one video came up on the YouTube. I think it has become viral also. He was telling about, see, those who are above 50, you have 1,500 weeks to live. Those who are above 60, you have so many weeks to live. Another 750 weeks to 800 weeks to live. And then if you are 70, above 70, you have say 200 or 150 weeks to live. Some number he was telling. So you have so much weeks to live only. So try to live that properly. Means you remember that you don't have much time left, and so do whatever you want to do, or fulfill all what your wishes and things like that. Means he was giving a lot of advice on.
Time
So I
limit
was.
is given.
Huh?
Time limit is given.
Time limit is given. So he's saying, now I have also realized that I have achieved all kinds of success. I have achieved so much of money, so much of billion. I've built so many successful companies. I have sent rockets. I'm sending 40 rockets every day. Means that's the kind of success he has achieved. And then he suddenly realizes that I'm feeling. Suddenly I realized he's telling his own realization. In this, you see, there's a series of videos. He's releasing every few hours one video on for 50, 60 minutes videos on what he suddenly realized, coming to know that time is limited. And still, I find that after achieving all this, I feel something missing. So it is interesting to listen his self-realization
That
talk.
is
So
Maya.
yeah, so now he's coming out of that Maya as so then I was just connecting to what you were saying with this. If you listen to this concept of time, there is 432 crore years of Brahma's time, and then we are still in the 28th Manvat, in the Chatur Yuga, and still there are another 60 so many Chatur Yugas left. Each Chatur Yuga is 12,000 years, 12,000 divine years, which means 43 lakh 20,000 human years. Okay, 40. So there's plenty of time. What is the worry about? If today, even if this lifetime goes, we are going to come back again. It is for definite, because the Swarga Loka also, Shine Punya Martya Loke. The moment you have your Punya is over, and they will push you from Swargaloka. Indra, they push you to the earth. So you will be born here.
But already the situation is so bad now.
But then for that is why seasons are there. Seasons will be there, and when there is disproportionate imbalance, the medicinal plants will die. So like that, there will be a destruction, automatic destruction. The nature will destroy itself. That is inbuilt, the built-in system. So as long as we maintain our balance and the environmental balance, we can ensure some prolonged Satya Yuga or Kruta Yuga. But by the time our mind, we buddhi brushed, we do ourselves. We ourselves destroy our mind, peace of mind, our mental, by our means by our own habits, by our own kind of behavior, by getting addicted to TV, addicted to social media, and then we spend our time there, and then that becomes an addiction. And so you don't actually spend your time in seeing the health of your body or seeing the health of your mind and things like that. So it gets destroyed. Now people are mentally unstable, so they have to take depressants, and so many the medications and all. So that medications, what they do, it suppresses your hormones, it suppresses your certain the neurotransmitters, it it restricts communication between different parts of the body. So all these are side effects of all these medications also. So ultimately we destroy ourselves. The nature, we know the way to destroy ourselves also. So if we don't live intelligently, we will become victims of our own habits. So this is the way. So in this chapter, there's a little bit to conclude of this chapter. So we can, where I was coming was, we finished the different types of kala. So here now, so the sun, when we come to just the broad kala, though there are different concepts of kala, it is for our understanding. But basically, for purpose of calculation, for our day-to-day life, we have two: solar system and the Chandra system, moon system. So solar system, it is the tropic of the Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, that is movement of the sun from the equator to the tropic of Cancer, and movement of the sun from the equator to the tropic of Capricorn, which is a 12-month period, which we say, you can say either from April to March, which is a financial year, or January to December, whichever way you calculate. So that is, and where we have 12 months, there are 30 days in each month. One day is added to, in order to account for the slight 24 point some minutes, to account for that additional number of minutes in every month, we add one
Leap
day
year.
to some months to make it 31 days. And then finally some marginal amount, which becomes one day, is added to the leap year, to the fourth year. And then again, still some small fraction which is there, every 400 years, one day is added. So this is the way we account for time, because there are fractions. Because nimisha, we can say, it is just like a of the eyelid, shutting of the eyelid. So then that fraction is bound to happen. Then we have those moons calculations, which we also follow. That is from the full moon to the full moon, or they can calculate from the new moon to the new moon, which is 28 days to be exact. Right? So Shukla Paksha, the bright side, and the Krishna Paksha, the dark side. The months, so we have two types of months: the solar months and the lunar months. The Chandra Masa is solar month, we know, where we have the zodiacs, all of them are listed out. And here Chandra Masa is full moon day to the full moon day, or the new moon day to the new moon day. So which is on one day there is no moon at all. On the Amavasya day there is a no moon day, and no moon at all. And Purnima there is a full moon day. So Devas are ancestors in Swargaloka, because the Devas um, and get their food from Chandra. They have always believed in the moon months, the lunar months. They have followed the Chandra Masa. Unlike us, we on Earth we follow the solar masa, because we get light from the sun, and our activities karma is linked to the day, solar day. Night we sleep, night the plants get the food. So we go according to the solar system, and our karmas are determined by the solar. Surya is the atma, and he is the karma devata, remember. And his son is Saturn, Shani, who accounts for all our, who regulates whether we follow our duties or not, and punishes, or sees to it that we do our duty, or he makes it difficult for us. So remember, so we have to follow the solar system, but we also follow the lunar system, because devas are following the lunar system. And that is why if we have to please the devas, if we have to worship the devas, then we have to see the phases of the moon. So even ancestors, when we follow the ancestors, we follow the tithi. The tithi is based on the stars, and on the at the time of the moon's tithi. Of the Krishna Paksha or Shukla Paksha, because ancestors are going to the heavens, to the divine regions. And so we also see that whether they are in the Shukla Gati or Krishna Gati. Shukla Gati means when the sun is moving from the equator to the Tropic of Cancer, then at that period of time when they die, they get a Shukla Gati. And then when the sun is in the Tropic of Capricorn, it is a Krishna Gati. That is also taken into account for how soon the ancestors will reach the Pitraloka or the Devaloka, wherever they go. So we take into account both the factors. So the day of the Devas are based on the phases of the sun. Here again, they get the food from the moon, but the devas and ancestors in Swargaloka always consume the nectar from the moon. But the days of the devas are determined by Sauramasa, by the Surya Masa. Just like for us also, solar system, we follow the days and the night. Devas also follow the phases of the sun. So that is why the Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha is there. 3030 human years refers to one divine day of Saptarishi. Rishi's loka is Tapoloka. Rishis, all the Sapta Rishis, their loka is Tapoloka, and in Tapoloka, 3030 human years is one day in the Tapoloka, and 90,090 human years is 1 year of Dhruva. We saw that Dhruva is beyond the sun. He has got a position from Vishnu, stationed beyond the sun. So the Dhruva's year is 9,090 human years. And Tapoloka is below Dhruva, so it is 3030 human years. This is a description of time. So all calculations of time in this whole universe, both human, for the divine, for the heaven, for the devas, for pitrus, for rishis, we have seen the whole concept of time. This whole concept of time is a creation of Maya. Maya, which is born from the unmanifest, which is totality of the manifest and unmanifest. The first thing to manifest is Maya, and the first thing which manifests from Maya is time, Akala, which begins from one nimisha, the utterance of one akshar, one syllable, one sound. The time taken to utter one sound is akshara, or which is called nimisha, the smallest unit of time. So from that smallest unit of time, we have seen up to the entire day of Brahmadeva, which is 432 crore years, human years. So this is the concept of time, Kala. In so thus we conclude the description of time, 15th chapter of the third Khand of the Shrimad Mutkal Purana. Jai Gajanan.
I'm enlightened. This Kabbalistic, I never heard of it before. I was writing it on this thing. Whatever you were saying, that periods of this time and all. Nice. Beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll see tomorrow.